Dawna Heising for More Horror in Hollywood, and we're here with Karen-Eileen Gordon, and she's featured on Magic City on the Starz network. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
And we're filming it at the Directors Guild during the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. And I'm Chinese, Japanese, and American Indian, so I'm the Asian here. Okay. Now tell us about your nationality.
I have a mixed background. I'm English, Scottish, Russian, and Romanian. And somewhere in there, I'm sure I've got some Spanish and French, but we haven't traced the lineage all the way back yet. I'm sure it's in there.
I could see the Spanish. Very sexy.
Thank you very much. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias.
Now, you've got a really interesting history. You've won a bunch of awards in actually grade school.
Yeah, I did. I was a debater in high school, and so I ran around all over the country competing in debate. There's a form of debate called individual events. It's sort of like a one-person show. You memorize a 10-minute section of a book or a play, and you stand in one place and become all the characters, use different voices. It's called humorous interpretation. And so that was my event, and I racked up some national trophies and state title, and that was my entry to the world of acting, really. So
yeah, that's very impressive, and that's like probably the hardest form of acting then.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I enjoy it.
And then you went to Harvard. Now,
I did.
Okay, tell us about that decision.
Oh, that decision. Well, here's a really funny story. I actually applied as a giggle. Like, I had no idea I would get in. I thought, what a fun joke. I'll apply to Harvard. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, wait, did you get straight A's in school, though?
I did.
Okay, well.
I did, but I still, I grew up like most people, and you think of Harvard is way up on some pedestal somewhere, and I never thought of myself as being a Harvard person. And so I applied to 12 schools, because I'm a little overzealous that way. And I almost fainted when I got the acceptance letter. I almost passed out, as did my parents. So, yeah.
So what did you major in Harvard?
Okay, here's another funny story. So my degree is actually in economics with a specialization, because we needed to choose one, in international finance. And so the big joke in my family is that someday I will use my Harvard degree by playing an economist on film or television.
Because that's a really hard major.
It was hard. The only time I've ever had a complete brain freeze in my life was during my economic statistics exam. Surrounded by 300 people, I stared at a blank page and sweat for 2 hours.
What caused you to pick economics when, you probably knew you were going to be an actress, didn't you?
I didn't, actually. I had no idea. The shocking thing, I didn't know until after college that I really wanted to pursue a career in acting. I love numbers. I'm the only person I've met who's not a CPA who really likes doing her taxes. I find it fun. So if I ever needed another career, I would be a tax preparer. I look at all the receipts and I think, I remember that dinner. That was lovely. So you relive the year. That's how I look at it.
Okay, and you won something at Harvard, right?
Oh, I did. The Harvard Crimson, which is one of the newspapers on campus, took a poll of the students, and they voted me one of the 10 funniest people on campus because I had an outgoing voicemail message that would change every day. I used a different voice or an accent or a funny saying that I would make up. I loved accents and dialects, and at that time in college, I had no idea that was called a career in animation. I had no idea, but that's what I love to do. So they gave me the honor. I was very honored. Yes.
Okay, so after you got your degree in economics at Harvard, how did you decide to become an actress?
I was blessed to win a fellowship with the Rotary Foundation. They send students in this country, they do an exchange, and so they sent me to England to be a U.S. Ambassador of Goodwill for a year. So I went to school at the University of Bristol, and I was in film school for a year. And it was in film school that I decided I wanted to be on the other side of the camera. So it was really after graduate school that I made the choice. And I came back to South Florida, which is where I grew up, and I joined an improv troupe, and I was off and running.
Okay, so tell us about your career after you joined the improv.
Oh, goodness. Well, I've been very fortunate to work on, both independent and mainstream productions. I spent almost 10 years working in South Florida. Hi, Miami, South Florida, I love you. Wonderful community down there, wonderful place to get started, very supportive. So my first roles were the things that came through the South Florida market at that time. And I was there for about 10 years before I came out to LA, and my first role out here was Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I was very, very blessed in that way. So, but I got...
Well, what did you do on that? I mean, that's a hit series.
It is a hit series, and I'm still getting fan mail, believe it or not. I did the first season. I was a hotel clerk to the wonderful Mr. Larry David, who was trying to kick a guest out of a room at about 2 in the morning and tried to bribe me with Liz Taylor sunglasses. So that was it. And it really is true that there's no script. I mean, that's the thing people ask me about the most. I had a little slip of paper for the audition that said, you know, Larry's trying to wrap a present. And that was it. Go. And it was the same thing on set. It was a general idea of what was going to happen in the scene. I believe the director, Bob Whitey, was really wonderful, said to me, all right, Larry's going to try and kick somebody out of the hotel. Don't let him. Action.
So you made that really funny then.
Well, Larry David made it very easy. He's very warm and generous. He made me feel very comfortable. And having had a background in improv, I think it's one of the most fun things on the planet, but I'd never done it on camera until then. So it was terrifying and thrilling. It's kind of like the extreme sports of acting, I think, improv on camera. I love it.
So was that your big break?
Is that my big break? It's hard to say. There's so many little breaks along the way. That's a tough question. That's the first thing that I did that people really recognized me in, I would say. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then what came after that?
Oh, my goodness. Well,
yeah, I know you've been in a lot of things. No, I mean, not everything, but like the important thing after. Well, they're all important, really, but you know what I mean.
All important. Well, I mean, it's hard for me not to talk about
what would Matt want you to say next?
Gosh, it's hard for me not to talk about the thing that's going on now, because I think the thing that you're in as an actor, everybody knows that the thing that you're involved in is always the most wonderful thing, because it's so great to
Yeah, tell us about that. Tell us how you got the role.
Okay, so on Magic City, which is an original series for Starz, I play the role of Florence, and she is sort of a tough, smart, sassy New York dame, and it's set in 1959 on Miami Beach, and how I got that role, that's a story of the universe coming together and a series of doors opening that I couldn't have planned if I had tried. It was one of those things where you work your booty off to be in the right place at the right time doing the right thing, and that's what happened. It was just door after door after door opened, a series of doors. I don't know how to say it more specifically.
Well, can you do an impersonation of Florence then? I want to hear your New York accent.
Oh, sure. Let me find her. Give me a second. She talks about 300 miles an hour. She talks very fast. She's very good at her job. She's a very well-educated woman. She lives in 1959. She's a college-educated woman. She keeps her boss in line. Her boy's placed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Hi, Evans. She's talking really fast all the time. I have to try and slow her down so people can understand what she's talking about. But she's very intelligent, knows what she's doing, very protective of her boss. That's Florence.
That was wonderful. Okay. We're going to find a clip of you on the series, too.
Yay! Yay. It airs, shameless plug, airs every Friday night through June 1st on the Starz Network, 10 p.m.
Okay. And you're going to be in season 2, right?
I have been, it's rumored that I'm going to be in season 2. I have not been officially invited back, but the rumors are swirling around, and they're all very positive. So fingers, toes, and curls crossed. So.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Now tell us about the Starz Network.
The Starz Network is wonderful. I mean, those of your audience members who are familiar with it know that they have many original hit series, including Spartacus, which is now running, and Boss with Kelsey Grammer. They're very, very big on supporting strong original programming. Like many other networks, Starz is one of them. So I'm very grateful that they fell in love with the show. It was written and created by Mitch Glazer, so talented. Grew up in South Florida, so it's very authentic. He knows from whence he speaks, and it's beautifully shot. And everyone on the set, the cast and crew from Starz all the way down to the craft service people, they're so lovely and generous. It's like a dream. I keep pinching myself. It really is like walking around inside a dream. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing.
Okay, and when is it aired again?
It airs every Friday night, 10 p.m. on the Starz Network. There's an Eastern time and a Pacific time. And I live tweet. In case you're a Twitter person, I'll be live tweeting during both the East and the West Coast feeds.
Okay, since this interview is for More Horror in Hollywood. Can you tell us how Magic City applies? You're the brains in this situation, so.
Well, I can tell you that there are horrifying things that take place in the storyline of Magic City. I can't go into too much detail.
Is it a comedy, drama?
Oh, it's a drama. It's definitely a drama. I like to call it dark, glittery, and delicious, but heavy dark, definitely.
Well, then you bring the comedy into the drama then.
Florence is a light element, which I'm very blessed and happy to bring. Like to do that. But there's a lot of dead bodies in Magic City. There's a lot of guns. There's bodies floating around in quarries. And you get to see a lot of how they wind up that way. So it's
a lot of blood and gore.
Definitely a definite blood.
We love that.
Blood and gore factor in Magic City. There is. It's delicious and scary.
Oh, okay. So then it's perfect for more horror. No, okay. Well, we can't wait to watch the show, and you're fantastic.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.